Anyway, if you're new to my channel, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed that mess of a beginning of a video. I haven't done a YouTube live in many years. I also didn't know I have access to it. I was playing around on the app because I was updating some things on my channel. But if you are into personal growth, productivity, podcasting, self-publishing books, all the mindset work, personal development, and you are ready to up level in your business and life, this is the channel where you need to be at. I release videos every single day on my shorts. My podcast is released usually every week, and this Friday there's a brand new episode coming out. I've been podcasting for 6 years, and since I launched my show, the Kellyanne Cares podcast, I have been writing, recording, producing, marketing, monetizing. I've been developing shows for my clients. Let's just say that. And I am obsessed with this work. I've also been a LinkedIn expert since I call myself an expert because I live on LinkedIn, and I'm very strategic with the way that I use it to grow my podcast as well as my brand. So I think I can share a few tips, tricks, and strategies, which if you put in the YouTube search bar, you will actually see all of my videos pop up. I use a lot of tools that repurpose my content, and I'm noticing that I get a lot more views here on YouTube. So while I was sick in bed, curled up in a ball, I realized I want to go live on YouTube. I thought I needed 1,000 subscribers. I think right now I'm at 338, something like that. But I can go live, so I'm here. So say hello in the comments. Tell me how I can help you. Tell me what kind of content you're looking for. A little bit more about me. My website was just newly revamped, so you can go to kellyanngorman.com. You can also follow me on TikTok at Kellyanne Gorman Official, same handle for Facebook and Instagram. I am obsessed with getting you the absolute most organized person that you can be so that you can become the most productive version of yourself, and that is both personally and professionally. I also talk with my hands and my nails are not done. That was something on today's to-do list I'm determined to do, but I also have a lot to cook later on, and I'm feeling energized and creative, and I'm looking to create some new recipes, so stay tuned for those. If you also have yet to receive a copy of my book, it's titled Everything is Messy. I will actually show you. I have a few signed copies left. I have an ebook as well if you're into the digital version. And this book I wrote in the middle of the pandemic, and it is 10 chapters of personal growth. It sits right next to David Goggins on the shelves of Barnes & Noble and other major retailers, and it is a book to get you to the place where you deserve to be at, both in business and life. So again, there's 10 chapters of personal development, and then there are budget-friendly vegan recipes sprinkled throughout the book. I was originally writing a cookbook and then another book about my life, and I nixed them and put them together. And I'm a full-blown Gemini, so if you have any Gemini friends, you know how we roll. But it was originally called the Chemical Free Cookbook because I started eating vegan and making homemade veggie burgers and vegan ice cream, nice cream, and all these things when I was trying to keep my body the best it could possibly be when I was going through chemo years ago. So long story short, if you would hear the full story, the attorneys, the misdiagnosis, the whole shebang, how I became an attorney for a little bit under 2 years. It was 18 months. I closed 6 med mal cases by myself because I was actually misdiagnosed. So that whole story is on the Kellyanne Cares podcast, which we are about to hit a milestone with the show. Again, it's 6 years old. It's almost in 100 countries. It's on all podcasting platforms, but you can also watch it here on YouTube. There's a little podcast tab that is on the cover of my channel, which you can listen to all the previous episodes. I've rebranded my show twice. So when I first launched, it was the Happy Workaholic podcast, and then I rebranded to Everything is Messy to coincide with my book, but I just didn't really feel connected. And that's the best thing about like entrepreneurship, is that you could always change, you know, and you learn a lot of lessons along the way. And I'm like getting really stuffed up again, but it's literally the best part. So there's no rules in podcasting. I preach this to my clients all the time. And I launched as a Happy Workaholic podcast back in 2017. And the show was about business, life, and life with an autoimmune disease. Because at the end of the day, if I was supposed to become blind and paralyzed by these diseases I had, so quote unquote had, but again, I was misdiagnosed. I'm healthy now except for this cold. And I would only have my voice to make money, right? So I was like, okay, well, I need a podcast. So I just figured it out. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Can you swear on YouTube? I don't know. And so I was like uploading video files instead of audio. It was insane. So I launched my show, and that's how my whole podcast development agency blossomed, because everybody wanted to know how I was doing my podcast. And back then there wasn't like a podcast coach, podcast development, like it was like unheard of. And I was my busiest actually during the pandemic, because everybody needed to pivot their business and rebrand online. And I had already done that when I had gotten sick. So I was like experienced in that, ironically. So I think I did 9 shows, developed 9 different podcasts during the pandemic. It was nuts. But now I think I'm on my 26. I just launched my 26 for a beauty brand. So what else? There's no rules in podcasting. So I launched the Happy Workaholic podcast, and then I rebranded to Everything is Messy. And as I was saying earlier, like I just didn't feel connected to the show. Like I wanted it all, because I had launched a merch line too. So there was a lot happening. I also had crazy PTSD. I thought I was going to die and all this stuff because of the pandemic, but I'm healed. I'm fine. So, I just had to like sit with my thoughts and figure out like, I want my own show, like something I care about, you know? And I could only talk so much if I like pigeonhole myself under this book, right? I wanted the book to have its own life. And then I rebranded my merch line and all of that stuff. So I relaunched as the Kellyanne Cares podcast, because I care. I care about helping you level up, whether that's personally or professionally. And I wanted to create a show that would motivate, stimulate, educate, and inspire you. And I bring on incredible guests. Episode 342, as I said, is going live this Friday. I'm recording this week. I'm also recording something for a brand new course that I've never seen before or created before with a friend of mine. And it is next effing level. I'm so excited. If you want news on that first, you have got to be signed up for my newsletters. I have 2. I have a personal one and I have my LinkedIn one. I'm so congested right now. I'm hearing it and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry you're witnessing this and having to deal with this. And also my nasty nails, I need to do those. But I just want to come on and test out my live. Now I know how it works. There's like cute little filters. I could see who's on. I could see the chat box. And I guess that's all I need to know. So I'm going to go live every week here. The algorithms are dead everywhere else. It's driving me nuts. It's like, as a content creator and somebody that has a business online, you're constantly creating content. That's why podcasting is so good, because you have to deal with the algorithms of TikTok and Instagram and all of that. I spend the most of my time on YouTube and Pinterest because it's SEO, as well as TikTok, YouTube, and Pinterest. But I'm now going to test out these YouTube lives. I did not know I had this feature, and I'm really, really excited, because I was like craving something new, like a new audience, new excitement, new engagement, like all that fun stuff. So, and other news, this book, if you want a copy right now, you can get it for free. All you have to do is go to the Kellyanne Cares podcast on Apple Podcasts. See, there's my nail bag. I need to do my nails. Leave a review for the Kellyanne Cares podcast on Apple Podcasts. You need to screenshot it and tag me. You can upload it here as a short. You can tag me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Kellyanne Gorman Official, and make sure I'm seeing it, because they don't post for like 24, 48 hours sometimes. But this book will be free. So when you tag me, screenshot and tag me after leaving your review, I'll get notified so that I can ask you where you would like it sent. Now, if you don't want to leave a review for the podcast because you don't have time to binge any episodes, it's a show for your mind, body, business, and life. So I have health and wellness, I have money, I have manifesting, visualization, all the productivity, organization. It's a whole big show that I cannot wait for you to dive into if you have yet to hear it. Again, this is the 6th year. But if you just want this book now, it's $10 for the digital version. If you want a signed copy, I actually do a book bundle. It's $40. You get a signed copy, you get the digital version, you get a Microsoft Excel doc that I created years ago that I give to all my clients and sell. And that keeps all your finances organized, your numbers, your downloads, your stats, anything for your business, passive income. Like, you can literally customize it for everything and anything under the sun. You make it yours. And then lastly, self-care. I partnered with a bunch of brands when I had the pre-sale for Everything is Messy. I'm trying to think. Right now I have a bunch of face masks. So I'm giving away face masks. They're from the #1 fastest selling face mask company at Target. So you probably know the brand. If not, you're about to. And I pop those in the bag. I just love creating care packages. So when you invest in yourself, like, I'm proud of you and I want to give you, you know, a little gift. So again, you get a side copy of the book for the Everything is Messy book bundle. It's $40. You get a side copy of the book, you get the digital version, you get the Microsoft Excel doc. I'm going to throw in a coaching session, which, by the way, those are also on sale this month for $97 rather than the normal $300. So if you're like, oh, I kind of want to work with you, I want to like pick your brain, or I want to just hop on a call with you, they are on sale for $97. Normally they're $300. So if you go to my link tree, it's at the bottom of the description of this video, you will see there where you can book a call with me. So take advantage of the very low price. So I'm going to throw in a coaching call, 15 minutes, maybe 30. I usually do an hour and then it's like 90 minutes. So I always over deliver. I like to make sure that when I get off a call with a client, that you are the best possible place that you could be at. Now I'm starting to lose my voice. But that's it. That's who I am. That's what I do. That's what I'm obsessed with. Now, what am I making tonight, if you're wondering? I'm making this recipe. I saw it, butternut squash with baking cocoa, and she put it in the fridge. It was this like chocolate mousse souffle. So I'm going to be doing that with a can of pumpkin, because I've been dying to use this can of pumpkin for like brownies or something, but my friend just made brownies. So I'm going to do what am I making? The chocolate souffle or something with my can of pumpkin, organic from Sprouts, my favorite place. So I'm gonna do that. I need to make a batch of my infamous veggie burgers, which, by the way, the recipe's in the book. I'm really thinking about updating this book. More news on that, but the course comes first. So I'm gonna make the pumpkin cocoa souffle situation. I need to make a new batch of veggie burgers. My cabbage soup is already done. I'm making eggplant parm. And I feel like there was something else I needed to make. Oh, I'm going to the store right now because I need to get some beans, because I use cannellini beans for my homemade hummus because it gives it more of a lighter whipped texture, like cream cheese, rather than garbanzo. I used to use garbanzo all the time, but they're like heavier. And with the cannellini beans, it's just like lighter, like a mousse whipped cream cheese situation. And I've really been on to lemon, dill, and garlic. And also these kosher crackers. My cracker obsession is Wasa crackers because they're whole grain. They're like good quality ingredients. There's no stuff in it, no chemicals or anything, no oils. And then during Passover, I found these kosher crackers. And then, of course, because, you know, you're talking about things with your friends, whatever, like as soon as you go on TikTok, you get pushed these videos. I made kosher cracker pizzas the other day. I didn't even film it because I was like dying. I was so sick. They were phenomenal. So usually I put my hummus on there with my everything bagel seasoning or avocado, something like that. And that's like my protein after my smoothie. And it makes me just like feel really good. And I don't need to make any more green smoothies, but just in case you're here at the end of this video, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I know this video was like all over the place, but when you watch it, I'm sure it will give you a nice laugh. And I'm gonna do more of these lives. I'm like really, really excited. I thought I needed 1,000 followers, but if you care to share this video, share any of my products, services, programs, any tips, tricks, and strategies that you see, comment on those videos, share them with a friend, and let's just talk about all these things and all these ways where I can help you level up, both personally and professionally, because that's why I'm here. So thanks for watching. It was such a random video, and I hope that you got a kick out of it. Okay, bye. Now let's see if I can turn this off. Oh, so easy.